All right. So, Gil and Catalina. Where we last left you guys, you were walking away from Igor and Kalmir. Heading back to camp, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. Well, the journey is uneventful. Kind of in the peripheral of your mage site. You do sense that there is some casting going on behind you, of a fairly large variety. Kind of guessed that maybe there was another attempt of some sort. But you wouldn't be able to get back in time for you to see anything, even if you doubled back now, most likely.
I'm gonna check behind, just in the path we're walking, and just make sure that nothing's following us.
Go ahead and give me a perception.
Two.
Nothing seems to be following you. Path seems clear. If you had to guess, whatever tickled your mage sight just a little bit probably has already passed. Hard to tell with peripheral mage sight, though, obviously. But you can kind of assume whatever it was not on the scale of what was attempted before.
Somewhat aggravated, somewhat disapproving shake of the head, and keep to the path, keep moving.
Doesn't take long till you end up back at camp.
You know he's not going to stop.
Sometimes it takes more than powers that we understand to get those to stop.
For years I've watched him achieve many unexplainable accomplishments. Some I still disagreed with, but as he always stated, it's for everyone's benefit. That's what he always states. It's for everyone's benefit. Yes, some casualties happen here and there, but it's for everyone's benefit. But I can't agree with what he's currently trying to accomplish. I'm guessing you can agree with me?
As much as it's not in my place to question anyone's judgment, I can't help but feel the same way.
We all attempted to change his mind, but once he's made it up, there's no swaying it. And I have a feeling that no matter how many mess-ups, how many lives he might accidentally take, I don't think he actually means to hurt people. However, it never comes to mind that he necessarily cares who it may affect, as long as it gets accomplished. And the more powerful he's getting, I feel as though he needs some kind of restraint. What you and I and him, what we all possess, are gifts. And what we do with those gifts they shouldn't ultimately hurt or bring our world, whatever plane we are in. And I feel as though he's getting to the point where he's getting too curious.
Be undone by his own hubris.
It's a shame.
So what? And Gilgamesh is going to sit down, start a fire going. And once that's done, so what do you suggest?
I pull to the side a satchel that I had, and I pull out a mask. I place it.
At this point, Gilgamesh, you notice a little tingling in the back of your mage sight. Almost as if something is going on with her. Would you like to... What mage sights do you have? I forget.
Well, I've got, as part of, the order ones, I've got mind and
Space.
Mind and space, and then I've got time as well as an additional arcana that I can do with a mana.
If you want, I'm kind of prompting you on this one. If you want to activate Mage Sight, go right ahead.
Yep, I will. And I'll take the mana and do time as well.
That one's not necessary. Mine's probably the one that would be most applicable here.
Yep.
As it's weird, as you kind of witness her putting on that mask. It's almost like in a blink of an eye, there's remnants of her, of Catalina. But it definitely looks like that this item, while you can tell is not magic in of itself, has some sort of symbolic meaning, and you're not really looking at Catalina anymore.
Who am I looking? Who are you?
I am still Catalina. Rules will be made, laws will be written. And as our friend Igor states, it will be the good for everyone.
Laws must be enforced.
I have a feeling we'll need you. We will need help.
I understand. And from what I've seen, you have my support.
Excellent. Meanwhile, we still also need that time stone. We have many things to accomplish right now.
So, can the time stone be made? Is that part of the question to GM?
These, specifically what we're referring, or what she's referring to, was a chunk of a shard of time left over remnants, that's redundant, but remnants of when lore-wise, the Exarchs broke the world and remade it. They are little shards or sometimes relatively large shards, that link this world with the time that came before.
Okay, so it's a case of finding one rather than making one, I'm guessing then.
Yes.
Is there anything that I've encountered previously that fits the bill?
There have been... You know what? You have... Was time something that you picked up within the course of your travels with these guys, or was it something that was...
No. It's been a while. I've only got a single dot in it, but...
So you've had time magic for a while.
Yeah.
And let me do... Let me just do a D10 roll. There's vague memories of a stone that you have encountered. It definitely triggered your mage sight.
Mhm.
But quite possibly it might not be what she's looking for. Time did resonate with it, but you're not entirely sure. It was a long while ago. And from what you are remembering, it was relatively large at the time.
I will relay this information. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. I don't know if it's of any use, but perhaps it's worth looking into.
At this time, since this thing and wherever we were is there's more questions than answers, we'll go ahead and look into it. Perhaps it'll give us more answers than questions.
And I will cast my mind back and think of when and where.
Right?
Starting to break up.
Yeah, there's a little bit of lag on our end when it comes to Gil. We apologize. Well, you remember it was to the south of your camp. Well past where the longhouse appeared. So, without much more ado, could you give me a survival check as you move throughout the forest? Or jungle.
What's that with?
We're gonna go with wits plus survival here.
Okay.
As these two make their way south through the jungle, we'll go back to Igor and Kalmir.
So I presume at this point the proof of concept abyssal wolf thing has dissipated.
Yes, it has. It only lasted a few minutes, correct?
Yeah, a few turns.
Okay,
Few
turns.
seconds, yeah.
Yeah, it was basic scale. But I know it can be done. But I suppose I should explain why I seek something like this here.
It would be nice, especially considering how seemingly dangerous and unstable it looked as it disappears.
Yeah. We are currently at odds with a ancient entity nearby in that ziggurat. My only goal right now is to see its destruction. I cannot do it alone. And And so I sought to create things that could help me do it. But it's proving to be more difficult than I originally intended. So perhaps a different approach might be in order. It's already dangerous. You have to flirt with danger to deal with something this dangerous. But yes, the powers I now dance with are dangerous. And at their core, unmake everything. But whatever is down in that basement should not exist. That thing in that basement of that ziggurat, the thing responsible for the death of our entire village, should not exist. It is not of this world. It should not be here. And so, dangerous power to unmake existence should, theoretically, unmake it. It's just a matter of wielding it correctly. Which is, I suppose, now what I'm struggling with.
So you're hoping to use anti versus anti, negative on negative, see if they cancel each other out, or...
I am not convinced it is negative. But I believe it is similar to those that shard. It is from before here and should not exist here.
I see, so a remnant of the before times.
A remnant of foes from before that now threaten us now. Which is why I must test such dangerous capabilities.
Well, I
assure you my intentions are good.
I'm sure there's a saying about good intentions. Hasn't been invented yet. Your theory, I agree with your theory. It's sound. It's still very dangerous. You know, working with the kind of power that goes contrary to existence.
If I recall, you were the one that activated a piece of rock from beforehand and flung us somewhere where I ended up landing in front of another tower. A bunch of disdain in those words. Where I was demanded many things by some ancient entity that, well, threatened to destroy me if I did not comply. So do not think that flirting with dangerous concepts is just me here.
Yes, I'm aware. I was there for that. It was a moment of panic. In hindsight, it was a bad idea because I didn't know what that item was capable of. So, as you say, it was a bad idea. It was dangerous. I want to make the excuse that I didn't have time to contemplate good versus bad decisions. But, you know...
This is fair enough. I will make the excuse of, I don't care how dangerous it is. The village, the people there, were everything I had, you had. Perhaps not the Catalina who lived out in the woods. Perhaps she's not quite as mournful of what we've lost here. But I've already lost everything. I don't care the danger.
Well, what I did didn't seem to wind up panning out for us. It didn't work. We're still here. It's still there.
We are still here with another opportunity to kill it.
So I hope your plan will not similarly go to waste. I really, really want it to work. Despite the dangers, if it's powerful enough that we need to resort to such drastic measures, then that's what we need to do. Because it will probably continue to, kill villages and spread everywhere. That's what the Vector Tordor said. He wanted to spread. He wanted more. We can't allow more.
Which is exactly why it must be cut down with the knife of non-existenceness.
Okay. Well, like I said, I agree with the theory. I just want I want to make sure you know how dangerous it is. I want you to be in full mental capacity that what you're doing is dangerous. There might be consequences. If you're prepared to shoulder those consequences, that's your decision. I can't exactly stop you from pursuing it unless it, I absolutely have to. If it loses control and becomes just as bad or worse than this entity, I hope it doesn't come to that.
So, hope is nice to have, but actively working to make sure it does not come to that is what I prefer to do here. And so, smaller steps, perhaps.
Yeah. You said your summoning was difficult and you might not be able to use it. Do you have any other plans, proposals, theories? Plan Bs, Cs. Whatever the runic form for A, B, and C is. Uniform.
It's the symbolic symbol for Plan B. Well, Plan B would be to simply... Plan B is not a good plan. I will be quite honest with you here. Plan B is to simply tear a big enough hole into the abyss that it will perhaps drown in it. Which is not a very good plan. I recognize this.
Yes.
This will have lasting implications. It may not even be possible.
I mean, the abyss surely has the power to erase from existence whatever comes in contact with it. I don't know how big a hole you would need to make. I don't know how far this thing reaches.
It was pretty fat, wasn't it?
And, very dangerous for everyone around said death hole. Not even death hole, non-existence hole.
It is already dangerous to be around.
Yeah. But we will probably need to be around it.
Further study, I think, is required to figure out the extent of what a Plan B really could be here. I looked in the short term here. I sought to create something that could stand here next to me and defend me if it came after me again. As it no doubt once is dead. We escaped it once.
Did you receive any other knowledge from this watchtower, or is it just summoning wrong things? Like, I'm pretty sure
I received was of an unknown amount.
Hmm.
Okay, add a character here. Do I know I spoke to some, like, gate? Do I know I spoke to an exarch? Like, do I have a name?
I believe it did reference a gate. However, as for knowing exactly what an exarch is,
Yeah.
that's a fuzzy topic. However, it was very, very similar to the one that spoke to you before, outside of the tone of voice being feminine.
Did that one refer to itself as Exarch? I don't remember. Or a clue?
I vaguely remember it referring to itself as a seer, and I thought I was just speaking to the seers, but I was later correct to know that it was an exarch, so I don't know. But I'll skirt around it. That's fine.
Okay. Well, to my knowledge, the abyss is what causes spells to go wrong, correct?
This is correct, yes.
So, is there a way to use that against this creature? If it is a being of the supernal, it surely, uses spells of the supernal. Could you perhaps mess those up somehow if it tries to use them?
There's only one way to find out. By wielding the abyss, you can, yes, interfere with supernal magics. Whether or not I can interfere with its supernal magics, I don't know. That might be a matter of practice.
Well,
Attempting to interfere with its magics is what got me into the abyss in the first place.
Oh.
I believe. That was the last thing I remembered, was interfering with its magics.
And apparently that didn't quite work out well.
Well, interfering with any supernal magic invites the abyss, but perhaps this time, if I can control the abyss it invites. I'm speaking in theoreticals here, of course.
Yes.
The only way to find out if I can fight back against it so directly is to go down there and try to fight it. However, that's not a good plan at the moment. I'd rather a few more plans. Hence why I sought to summon something that could distract it, perhaps.
Pull attention, yeah.
The buzzing of insects is becoming nauseating at this point, as you've been standing in the middle of a jungle for enough time that the mosquitoes have gathered.
You want to continue this conversation in twilight where the bugs can't reach us?
If you wish. I mean, I don't want to be on bad terms with Catalina. I know she left angrily. I think we should, at the very least, all work together towards defeating or destroying this thing. It would be better together than separately.
If what has been demonstrated here recently is that practicing with an unknown magic can be dangerous to others around, which is why I left the camp earlier and was followed, apparently.
Yeah, she mentioned the artifact. Did you have it, or?
I had it, and it was, again, like said entity in the basement down there, not supposed to be here, not of this world, and as such, it was destroyed.
Oh. If we could have figured out how to properly use that thing, it might have been a help. Oh well. Well, if you want to continue your practice, I can assist if you require. Otherwise, you can go back to camp and try and reconcile.
I'm not sure what the best plan is. I imagine me going back there is probably not going to be well received yet. Needs time to cool down and... Alright, so, Mr. Storyteller, man. Do you want me to split the party again and say Igor just goes to mess around with spells in the jungle? Or do you want me to go follow in Twilight and just sit there and wait for an opportunity?
Either let you do it now or wait for you to do it later is essentially that's a non-choice and you know it.
Well, yes, but
So Igor is not going to be traveling with you, Kalmir, if you head back to camp. It's very clear of that.
Okay.
So, what's Kalmir going to do at this point?
Well, his offer is still on the table. If Igor would like Kalmir's assistance, maybe in containing... Maybe if a spell starts to maybe go awry, I can cancel it, dispel it before it actually goes awry, or go back and try and reconcile and leave him with his consequences. That's the offer that Kalmir is making to Igor.
Igor probably doesn't want anyone else to get hurt with his mistakes. So I'm gonna decline the offer for the sake of I don't want Kalmir to die if I do something stupid, because that's not my character, and I'm that.
Okay, fair enough.
Just to be honest with you, I realized yes, splitting it would probably be better to keep the party together, but unless Kalmir wants to risk abyss shenanigans.
Okay, so we'll ask Kalmir.
I'll leave that open to you, but I'm not responsible for your death if you follow me.
Well, that's why he was asking Igor. That was like an in-character question.
Igor's not responsible for Kalmir's death. He's fully ready to face his consequences alone.
Okay, well then, Kalmir's gonna walk away, but before he leaves, he's gonna say, "Remember, you hunt a squirrel before you hunt a bear."
I have not seen a squirrel nor a bear here, so I shall go hunt something completely random then.
I meant, never mind. Gonna keep walking.
So, while I'm sure Gandhi calculates his dice pool again, we're going...
You want me to try the big roll again immediately? I'll do it.
Not the bear again. Ignore my advice.
Wait, please, no, don't cause anything. Sir.
Soulless Wolf, round 2, Electric Boogle.
Sir.
So, Kalmir,
Yes.
Oh no.
by the time you arrive to camp, there's a relatively weak fire in the camp area. And nobody to be seen outside of the small fire that is still burning slightly. The only other thing that seems to have been disturbed at all is a small sack of Catalinas. But there's nobody else in camp.
Oh. I thought they would be here. What time of day is it, by the way? I don't remember.
Originally, this had started early morning, because Igor got up before everybody else. It took took 3 hours to cast that spell, so your altercation was mid-morning-ish. So, and with the walk back, you're probably looking at probably right around noon, maybe a little bit after.
Okay. As long as there's not wandering around at midnight, that's not a good idea.
But you are alone at this campsite.
Well, I wonder where they went. Came back here and try and reconcile them. They're not even here. You want to look for them, dog? Let's go look for them.
Right, give me your wits plus survival for tracking.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to retroactively ask this question to both Catalina and Gilgamesh. Were you guys covering your tracks at all, or were you guys just moving through the jungle?
I don't think Gilgamesh would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so this isn't an opposed check of any sort. It's
Okay.
just straight if he can follow your footsteps. Go ahead, though, and take a -2 for jungle terrain that you're not used to, so you're not exactly familiar with how to track in the jungle.
I see. -2. No successes. Can I roll for dog?
And he does not have the penalty due to he's tracking by scent.
Right. So with survival, let me just do this. Simple roll. 4, 8. 4 successes for dog. Oh, I don't know where they are, dog. I can't find any tracks. I don't know this place.
Dog kind of sniffs through Catalina's bag and then begins to move cautiously through the jungle to the south.
Oh, you got a scent, boy? All right, let's go.
With that, Igor.
Yes.
Don't die.
No promises, alright?
What is Igor doing?
Igor is gonna go further away this time. Not because probably trying to do it directly on top of last time, not a good idea.
All right, well, what direction are you heading? Not that it matters that much.
Yeah, east. I don't know where east is, but I'm going that direction. Further away from the camp.
Right?
Because probably not, like, away from camp, away from Ziggurat.
Okay. You find another suitable location. Whatever suitable is Igor's discretion.
Okay. So, we're gonna try again.
The whole kit and caboodle?
Sorry?
The whole kit and caboodle?
Sure. I don't know what that means, but yes. I have not heard the term. Saying.
It means you're going all out again.
Yes.
Okay, give me the roll. You're not befouling this time, I'm assuming.
No, but there's still paradox.
What's the paradox roll?
Depends how much mana I want to spend.
That's why I'm asking.
We're gonna spend 2 mana to drop it to 2 paradox dice.
All right.
That much?
Hmm?
I didn't realize you were making that much paradox.
4. I'm 2 reaches over.
Oh, I see. You're reaching. That's why.
So I will go ahead and roll the 2 paradox.
No dedicated tool?
It already reduces to.
Oh.
Normally it's 6.
Oh, I see. It's already okay.
2 reaches over.
Continue.
And here's my gnosis. Please roll good.
Ooh.
Wow, if only that was before. Okay, so no paradox. I am spending a willpower, as well as a mana for the indefinite bit. So I'm out 3 mana and a willpower. For a whop dice pool of 10.
That's not bad.
Yeah, well, that's what I had before.
Well, yeah, that's how you do. The more dice you roll, the less successes you get. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
But it works.
But it worked.
So, yes, I am attempting to create size 40 abyss ghost. What are they called? Golmoth, I believe is the term.
Oh my!
I am attempting to create what Nidhogrid is depicted as in legend. That being serpent, 2 4 legs and wings. Dragon-looking thing. Now,
Well, you succeeded, so this ghostly entity begins to twist around the trees.
Perfect. This is good.
It will take it some time to form. I mean, size 40, you're essentially watching its skeleton build itself vertebrae by vertebrae, and so on and so forth.
I will quietly mutter under my breath. The bears felled.
And with that comment, we're going to go back to Catalina, Gilgamesh, and Zira. It's not too...
Zira. Oh.
Go ahead.
Zira, are you okay?
Maybe?
You were in a trance there for quite a while.
I was shaken and was hearing colors and seeing sounds,
No,
very interesting things that was taking place.
It was abnormal against nature.
All types of nature. I feel like we broke in all the laws of anything that was right.
Well, unfortunately, there is no real laws written, but we will go ahead and remedy that issue. I know that you were not mentally and spiritually sound, but you seem to be better now.
Yeah, what happened while I was gone?
After you explained more or less what Igor accidentally did, it seemed he did something to disturb what we would call the natural order. It was a bit unnatural, unorthodox. Of course, there's no rules for us, especially we're not exactly human. We are human, but we have special abilities. And
Those
sometimes-
special abilities comes a conscience, at least deep down, sense some type of wrong. Something just feels wrong. Do you feel that?
Probably not as strong as you.
Gil.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the location. You guys have been walking for roughly about 3 to 4 hours at this point. are getting close to the location that you remember. As you come to a small clearing, I need you to give me a perception check.
Oh, one.
As you come to the clearing, you remember that this crystal was actually relatively large. We're talking roughly the size of a tree. However, as you come to this clearing, you see things that don't make a whole lot of sense to you. You see what seem to be wooden housing without walls. In other words, it's just the frame and roofs. You see what almost appear to be shambling masses. And in the center of this clearing is what you can assume is the crystal, but much smaller, probably the size of one of those birds that everybody hates, the cassowary. As you kind of watch this scenario, you notice that these shambling masses are single-filely walking to this, as stated, housing that's just literally a roof with the support beams, grabbing a hold of the crystal and cracking it with their hands. And then they begin to make their way back off into the forest, or the jungle. If you want to give me wit survival again.
Mm-hmm. 1.
It is you would assume if they keep off in that direction, they are heading directly back to the ziggurat.
Indicate to the others, sort of keep low, get down.
Crouching?
And then wait for them to catch up, and then obviously stop them just going in, but point out, silent, without saying anything, just point out the crystal to Catalina.
I cautiously move towards it.
You guys... Actually, this would be only something for Gil. Roll me. You happen to have academics? I know it's a weird question to ask.
No. I have occult, but
No, this is definitely academics. You want to give me a straight intelligence check.
1.
Oh wow, off of 2
Always
dice.
with the ones.
Off of 2 dice, it's still fine though. Roughly. See the number of these shambling things. Just doing like a quick mental count. This couldn't have been going on for very long. But it seems like maybe a couple of days at most that these creatures have started doing this, just going by the size of the crystal that you remember and the size that it is now. It would make sense if these guys had been working for days straight, that they specifically were the ones that grounded this crystal to this size. Now, at this point, as you're kind of doing this mental calculation, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye Catalina moving towards it slowly.
Just, sort of indicate slow down, just wait.
I stop.
Now, Is there anything I can do, sort of check if are they kind of going about this, are they behaving normally, or is this some kind of like single-minded worker ant type focus, like mental conditioning or something?
This is definitely... It's yes to both.
Okay.
It is a single-mindedness, but it seems like that's might be all they're capable of. Which would mean it's normal for them.
So I want to pick up a stone or a stick or anything like that and just basically throw it to another part of the clearing and just see if there's any reaction to it.
Give a roll here. The ones closest to where you threw the stone, their heads do move that direction, but it looks like since they don't really see anything, they just slowly turn their heads back to looking directly in front of them and proceeding apace with the others.
Is there a way we can get closer without being seen?
Way the scaffolding works, you are actually on the far end, so you can get quite a bit closer. They never directly turn to face you. So imagine here's the crystal in the center of the clearing. You guys are coming from essentially where I am in this image. They're coming out this way, looping around, and then back out away from you. So they never turn directly to face you.
In that case, yeah, nods towards Catalina and Zira. Sort of.
Just in case, play it safe. I cast invisibility on Gil and Catalina.
Go ahead and give me that roll.
Let me get this right. It's my life. It's this level of spell and mana? No, Genos.
Gnosis.
Yes. Gnosis. It's Gnosis. I knew
Gnosis
that.
plus Arcana. Gnosis plus Arcana.
Diagnosis.
There you go. I'll pretend I said it right the first time, okay?
Yeah.
Let's edit that. And plus I'm gonna edit that high speech, so 9. Hey!
What level of spell was that?
That is a level 2 of forces.
And you are what? Arcana and forces?
How high is your forces?
How many dots do you have?
Okay, sorry. Let me erase that. I'm 2 in forces. I was looking at life. Let me back that up.
I was wondering that. And also, that means you only have 1 free reach. For it to be multiple people, you would need another reach, which would also be Paradox.
What can I do to get another reach that doesn't cost Paradox?
You'd have to cast it individually.
Or you take 3 hours.
Or take 3 hours.
You don't necessarily have to take a reach. You can just take a penalty. You don't have to put it to advanced scale.
Sure.
That's true, yeah.
That would be on 2 people. That would be a -2 penalty.
Aren't there 3 people?
No, I'm just doing it on them too.
Yeah, she's not doing it on herself.
2.
Yeah, it's just a -2. That would be your Gnosis +2 from high speech, -2.
Okay. Is that decent enough? I don't want to fudge this up. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna risk it. Risk it,
Risk it for the biscuit.
I was trying to not say that. I was trying so hard to not say that. So Gnosis 3, Forces 2, on top of 2.
That's 5.
So 7. Yeah, 5. Plus my Yant, high speech. 7 -2?
7.
Yeah, so it's 5.
Yeah,
A
okay,
5.
back to that. 5. Please let this be decent. Decent, I said. Yes, thank you. Awesome. This works, right? They're invisible.
Yes, they are invisible.
They're invisible, but I can still see them.
Nope.
I can't see them.
They're invisible.
Can I see each other?
No, they're invisible.
Wait.
They're invisible. You cast the spell, they are invisible as Catalina, I assume, begins to move forward again.
Yeah, after realizing I can't see Gil anymore.
It's just like footsteps appearing in the.
It was I don't cancel sound, so you guys are just invisible.
Yeah, you can still talk to each other.
Yeah, so Gil knows this spell. He knows this spell. So while they're invisible, I'm gonna shapeshift myself to a bird, a small bird.
Looking back and looking at the ground where the footprints are for Catalina, I'll sort of just kick the earth slightly to get the footprints to appear.
I proceed forward following Gil.
Also, if you're shapeshifting, I'm gonna need the spell for that.
Yes, and this is life.
Yes,
so
this one definitely is.
I remember my spells. I'm remembering things. Yay.
With a
So
reach
this
to
one-
keep your clothes on.
What?
It
You have
comes
to
from
spend a
the
reach.
body.
You have to spend a reach to keep your clothes.
Otherwise, you transform without your clothes.
Naked this whole time.
When you turn back, you are naked. Yeah?
In this era, though, it wouldn't be that weird.
Like picture a guy turning into a frog, but his clothes stay the same, so he's just a little ball in the clothes.
Yeah,
and he
I
has to
thought
walk
that
out.
was just automatic. But nothing. I've been nude this whole time. Oh, great, I got one.
I mean, one's
all you
enough. Yep.
I'm a bird. Hummingbird.
So, as you get closer, what's the plan?
I just
Now we're invisible. Everything's changed.
I'm sorry.
As Gil
My
recalls one time where Zira just turns him invisible in front of a crowd.
Oh, bad times.
My original plan was to try and join that line and follow them.
No, you can with safety.
Now, don't even need to worry. Just find out where they're going. Yeah, but if getting closer, I'm guessing Catalina wants to check out the stone itself.
Yes.
If it's the thing you're looking for.
And I don't have to crouch anymore.
However, all three of your guys' mage sight is, the peripheral mage sight is going off, especially around this crystal. So it is definitely some sort of magic.
What I have for that?
Catalina, do you want to turn on your actual mage sight?
Yes.
Within half a second, as soon as you turn it on, for lack of a better word, you see all the time magic coalescing in this one location. You see that this place is a much larger repository of that little crystal that you had. And each time one of these things breaks it, see the magic waver slightly. But the chunks they're taking are still charged with power. But the main crystal is getting weaker each time they do it. They are definitely trying to grind this into dust.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Mage the Awakening, 2nd edition, Insten Nergal, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. a special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, consider what mysteries are best left unsolved.